Unfortunately, my brother Adhan cannot join me today for this review of Mortal Kombat 2, the 2026 version, due to him being under the weather. But I saw it, he has not. I'm going to do my best to give you a review without any spoilers. So without any further ado,
let Mortal Kombat begin!
Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. My name is Angel, would be Adhan, where we give you a review at least once a week. No spoilers alert. So wish me luck. By the time this review, I saw Mortal Kombat 2. Actually, this whole freaking week, I saw the original 1985 version, that's a 1995 version of Mortal Kombat. We will review that. I will also like to do like a, what do you call those things? Like a watch review party kind of thing, because there's just some things there that just doesn't make sense. Plus, I think the martial arts in it kind of sucks. But again, we'll do another review then. Thursday afternoon, I saw Mortal Kombat 2021 version in the theaters since I never saw it before in the theaters because I saw it on HBO Max due to COVID. And I have to say, like, Mortal Kombat 2021 was one of our first reviews we've started, and we dogged it. But seeing it on the big screen changed my view a little bit. It's still dog shit in certain ways because of they brought an extra character that's not in the game, that's, you know, related to Scorpion, what have you, blah, blah, blah. Cole, still super unnecessary to bring him in. But I guess I get it. But now Mortal Kombat 2, the one that just came out with Carl Urban, I kind of appreciate the 2021 version more. Like George Lucas has done with his Star Wars films, and then like people who followed him, that Mortal Kombat 2 kind of forgets what was the groundwork in their Mortal Kombat version. They like set up the world. It was a prequel to the actual tournament, which I kind of, I liked. Some of the acting was bad. Some of the martial arts was okay. I mean, the fightings with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, when it was Hanzo and Bihan, and then at Scorpion and Sub-Zero, that was the highlight of the movie. But everything else is like, yeah. But here, I'm going back and forth, as you can see. It's obvious they spent more money in the 2021 version than in this one. It also felt like Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation, where they just go to the world because the Shao Kahn came in, and then they're having that world and that outer world or netherworld, and they're fighting, what have you there. It kind of felt like that here as well. But as I was saying, that what they set up in the 2021 version of how these fighters got their powers, how they were chosen, all that good stuff was taken out here. They didn't follow suit. And like George Lucas has done the same thing. Well, they'll start one thing, and then like in the sequels, what have you, like they don't bring up that part ever again. For example, force running, that. But what I'm saying here is, if you don't know this by now, I use Star Wars as a reference of other films because the original trilogy is such masterpieces in storytelling, in my opinion. And they drastically change from each story in a sense of tone. So I appreciate that. Even though I think Return of the Jedi is the weakest one, but they have some great moments. I mean, they could have done something else with the Ewoks. But anyway, so that was like one of my biggest hurdles, upsets that bothered me from part 2. You know, you have Raiden here again. His presence is a little different. Like his eyes are not as they were in the first one, whereas more like a hue of blue. And the locations is just very blue screen and very local. You felt it. You felt like it's not in the sense of, hey, why are you home so early?
A few moments later.
All right, I gotta do this. I'm gonna get this done. So that was one of my, like, again, like when you change what was set in stone in the first one to this rebirth of this franchise, that when you change something that they reset, they put in, they made sure that you understood it, because they drove it home in the first movie in the sense of the powers and how people are chosen and stuff like that. And then they go here, and Johnny Cage, he's not chosen in the sense of like with the marking. He's just chosen. But again, like in the end of the first one, Cole is on a mission to get Johnny Cage. But who does it? Not Cole, it's someone else. And here, like in the first one, it was more of Cole's story and a little bit of Sonya Blade and I guess Shang Tsung, in a sense of what's happening, what they're trying to do, how they're trying to move the story forward. Shao Tsung is trying to win the tournament by cheating and what have you, the training, blah, blah, blah. Here it's like, and I get it, because what's great about the video games that you could have different endings depending on who you pick, right? Now, storyline, if you follow story mode, that's different. But when you do that, those little arcade choices, where you play the character and you beat everyone else, and then there's like an end story once you beat the big baddie. It's kind of like that here. And I kind of understand it, but the lore, we know who the savior is, but now they kind of changed it. But again, it's fitting. It also felt like rewatching a relationship with Thanos and Gamora from the Avengers in Marvel. Once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And what they did here, and it says was different from the Marvel, is that, well, once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that's what I felt. I was like that. It felt very Marvel in that aspect. But and rightly so. It makes sense. But at the same token, what we know for true fans, what we know, is kind of like disappointing. The fight scenes are a lot better. There's especially one fight scene really nice, really nicely done. Still a little overacting from some of the characters. A little bit overacting. I was like, really? Do you have to be like that? I love Carl Urban, but at the same token, like it would have been nice to actually have Van Damme play Johnny Cage. You know, originally they wanted him for the 1995 Mortal Kombat to play Johnny Cage, but he didn't want to do that. He wanted to be like typecasted. So he did the Street Fighter film instead as Guile, which makes no sense since he's not American or wasn't American with a strong Belgium accent, playing an American character. I was like, really? Playing Johnny Cage with that little accent would have made better sense because, you know, Johnny Cage is a staging. Oh, and Carl Urban did a great job, but it's just like, you can see when there's a stuntman doing it and you see when it's not. His movements are not as they're trained. Like for the most part, everyone that plays a character has martial art experience. It shows. As a martial artist myself, when someone who's not trained in the martial arts and they try, you can tell by their pose, their hand positions, things like that. So that, again, it kind of throws me out. But again, you try to go into that world. He's a great actor. And he did say that he would love to do a film, a project with Jean-Claude, which would have been awesome. It would be kind of nice, like maybe a parody of each other, what have you. It would be awesome. Some of the highlights were the Easter eggs in relation to the game. You have some of the iconic moves. You have some of the great fatalities, very much like what you will see in the video games, even more so than you saw in the 2021 version. Why is that a tongue-tie twister for me? 2021. My tongue is getting caught in air. But anyway, so that's what I liked about that. Like I caught myself laughing in some of the stuff, and I saw what they were doing here, and I recognized some of the moves and some of the features, which was great. And for the movie experience, there was multiple screenings of it, but I got into one. It was just 4 of us at 8:00 at night, just 4 people in that one theater. So how I was going to do, I don't know. But since this seemed like a low budget, it probably will break even. Certain things made no sense. Certain things made no sense. Like for certain characters, a mask will go on. Like they don't put it on. Like they'll think of it or they'll touch a button and it will just appear and then they'll take it off with their hands. Which I was like, if you can hit a button to put it on, why can't you hit a button to take it off or to remove it? Things of that nature. It didn't seem consistent in what certain things. And this is pretty much nitpicking, I admit. But stuff like that can like take someone out, in my opinion. The characters, you have like pretty much everyone returns from the first people who survived. Anyway, the main characters that survived and not survived, hint, hint, show up. There is some comic relief, but not as like it was in the first film. We have Kano ripping people to shreds with his banter, with his comments, with his timing and his delivery, which was awesome, which I hope was ad-lib, because I don't know if writers can write that fast and that good, like the way that Kano presented it. But you have that a little bit in this one here. And I said the fighting is good. Some of it is terrible. It does honor the mythos of Mortal Kombat. You have like a tournament setting. You see where they're honoring the video game in more ways than one. Which was hilarious. It deals with Johnny Cage. It deals with Baraka. It deals with other characters too, most definitely. Liu Kang. So you can see like where they took from the video game and honored it. And you have some cameos. I won't say who, but one of them was a creator of Mortal Kombat, but I'm not going to say who. I did have a good time overall. By the time of this review on Rotten Tomatoes, it is now 64% by the critics and 89% by the audience. And I normally falter with either one or side. But for me, I'm stuck in the middle. I don't think it's good in the 80s. I don't think it's bad as in the 60s. I think it's in the 70s. Is it better than your first one, the 2021? No. After rewatching, and I've only seen it twice, the 2021 version. After watching the second time, I saw what they were doing in a better light. It was a better experience in the movie theater. Cole still was not needed in that. I think his character was a waste. The story could have been driven without him, in my opinion. Here, they have a different point of view in the sense of the character driven. As I mentioned earlier, they just took some things they established in the first one and they ignored it in this one. There were some shocks, there were some, oh man, moments that was really good. But I would say this is more for me in the 70. I would say 75. It is entertaining, but is it as rewatchable as the original Mortal Kombat in 1995? Maybe. Do you need the first Mortal Kombat of 2021 to know this one? Not really. Not really. No, you don't. Unless you want to know about how the powers came to be and how the people are chosen, what have you, to be in this tournament. But this could be a standalone. Now, the way it ended, it's kind of like a cliffhanger in a way that there could be possible more Mortal Kombat films. But you have Carl Urban, he's old. I mean, granted, for the character in the film, it fits, why he's that age and why they chose an actor of that age. It makes sense. But again, it takes time to make these films. So I don't know how they're going to continue on the story with that, unless they do another point of view to push the story. And like I said, in the first one, it was Cole, Sonya Blade, and Raiden. Here it was Katana, Johnny Cage, Shao Kahn. So I don't know. I know I'm doing a terrible job because I usually have my brother here with me so we can banter and talk and have a nice discussion, but it's up to you. All right, guys, that is my review of 2026 Mortal Kombat 2. Have you seen it? What was your favorite moment? Who did you like? Did you agree with my nitpicks? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, we'll be the next time. I'm Angel. The sick one is Alan. Love you guys.